The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Weyburn City Council. It's Monday, September 8th, our first meeting of the month. Lots on the agenda tonight. We will go through. We're going to outline budget timelines for next year so that administration can get that underway. We've got some tax enforcement work to do. And as always, reports from our departments are on the consent agenda. So lots to do. Let's get to work. First things first, I would look for a motion to approve the minutes from the August 11th council meetings.
Thanks, Your Worship. I would like to make a motion that the minutes of the regular council meeting and the strategic planning and priorities meeting held on August 11th, 2025 be approved.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any additions to the minutes? Any errors? Any clarifications? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Thank you very much. Next up is our agenda is posted. Any additions to the agenda? Start with administration.
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. There's no additions tonight from administration.
And council, any additions? None. Very good. No public hearings or notices, no delegations, proclamations, or petitions. Reports of standing committees. So this is just kind of a time when, you know, all of the councillors sit on various city committees. So this is an opportunity if anybody wants to update the public and the rest of council on some of your committee work. Yeah, Councillor Sedlowski.
I would love to do that, Your Worship. Our youth council is currently recruiting new members, grades 10 to 12. The deadline is September 30th, and the application is on our website at weyburn.ca/youth-council. So we'd love to get some new members in there, and we look forward to working with them.
Thank you very much. Youth Council is one of our gems, so please let's work hard on that. Any other councillors with updates or anything from your committees? No, hearing none, we'll move on then. So we have our consent agenda, 4 items on there: the cash activity report, the planning and development report for July, and the planning and development report for August, as well as the water treatment plant report for August. So if I could get a motion to get the consent agenda on the floor.
Your Worship, I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions about those 4 reports or anything we want pulled off for deeper discussion, or any notes, changes? Okay, hearing none, I will call the question. All in favor? Thank you. Before we move on, I just want to note, I find this interesting. Our water treatment plant report is on there every month, and we are very fortunate to have the quality of water we have. Sometimes it is the most boring reports that are the best reports, because we don't hear bad news coming out of there. So I would want to thank Shabir and his team over there for their steady hand at the wheel. We're fortunate to have good water. Okay, let's move on to motions. So first up is our budget timelines for 2025-26. And we'll turn that over to the city manager for a deeper dive.
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. So the City of Weyburn has a policy that establishes the guidelines and responsibilities for the annual budget process, which is Resolution 2017-12C. The policy establishes key responsibilities and timelines for the budget process. So every year, the City Council, City Manager, and City staff work together to develop an annual budget. The budget serves as an outline for how money that comes into the city should be spent to maintain and improve our municipality. As the city is limited on the number of resources available, the budget helps in determining which objectives have the highest priority and will produce the greatest positive impact on the community. The City of Weyburn develops a yearly balanced operating and capital budget to provide growth and sustainability for today and into the future. A balanced budget means money spent must equal the money raised. To balance a budget, the city can either increase its revenue through things like property taxes and fees, or through reducing expenses and costs of services. The operating budget covers day-to-day spending on services such as recreation programs, garbage collection, parks maintenance, snow removal, and emergency services. The operating budget also includes yearly projects to improve city-owned facilities to help make Weyburn a safe, convenient, and livable community. The capital budget is the city's plan to purchase, build, maintain, repair, and replace assets, including our fleet, our roads, water and wastewater systems, and public buildings such as the recreation facilities, public works facilities, our fire station, our police station, and our parks. There are several main sources of funding for municipalities. Budget initiatives can receive funding from a single source, but the majority of our funding comes from multiple sources. The following are some key funding sources that we have, which is property taxes, rates and fees, grants, development charges, internal reserves, and then if required, debt, which is external loans. So moving forward into the 2026 budget, the following are our proposed timelines. So firstly, October 27th will be prelim budget presentation to City Council. So each one of our departments will do a presentation, which will be either made by myself or by our department heads. Then the Director of Finance to develop a proposed budget report, provide budget impacts and summaries. Between October 28th and November 7th, we'll have an open house. We're still determining location and dates and times for that. The City of Weyburn will be hosting open houses to provide information, understanding, and discussion about the prelim 2026 municipal budget. These events are designed to allow for people to drop in and obtain information on the 2026 municipal budget. The objective is to provide a venue to speak to City Council or to City staff. The objective also is to familiarize the public with the City of Weyburn operations and to be more, provide more information about intentions for the 2026 budget. So again, the location dates will be announced at a later date. Advertisements for those events will be posted on our city website, sent through Weyburn Alerts, and also through our work with the media, as much as we can to promote that out to the public. Then on November 24th, there will be budget discussion at the council meeting. So we'll discuss input from the public. There'll be opportunity for delegations, individuals, or organizations to appear before council regarding the budget, and then discussions and direction from council to administration for the budget. So we do have a budget web page, which is under weyburn.ca/budget. And this will be used to include information like the timelines we're talking about tonight, the open house, and the prelim budget. And then we'll also have any meeting videos that we'll have from that October 27th presentation. Actually, if you actually go to that site right now, you can actually see information from our past budgets as well. So an open budget process offers citizens an opportunity to learn more about the municipal budget process, provide input on priorities, and influence the allocation of public resources. Transparent and inclusive budget facilitates citizens' understanding of issues and government processes, ensures transparency and accountability, improves the quality of decisions made, and increases support for the decisions made throughout the budget process. So I just went through all the timelines, but I'll go through it again. Again, on October 27th, there'll be the prelim budget. Responsibility from that is from me to council, but presentation will happen from myself, directors, and our chiefs. Again, from October 28th to November 7th, we'll have our open houses, and we'll get that information out to the public once we have that determined for dates, times, and locations for that. And then on November 24th, we'll have discussion of input from those meetings, opportunity for delegations, and then discussion and direction from council to administration on budget. So I'm just recommending that council approve the 2026 budget timelines as presented.
Okay, thanks, City Manager. Is there a motion for this?
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that City Council approve the 2026 budget timelines as presented.
Thank you. And a second.
Your Worship, I will second that motion.
Thank you very much. Okay, questions for the City Manager, or I suppose the Director of Finance, if you want to throw them that way, on this process or on the timelines? No? All right, hearing none. I'll call the question then. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Thanks for that, City Manager. This is, I think those of us around the table are very glad to see this process getting more clear as we go forward, and also giving administration time to to have that budget in place before the year starts. So I appreciate that. Next up is a tax enforcement property tender, and we'll look to the Director of Finance for this one, please.
Thank you. So under the provision of the Tax Enforcement Act, the city offered the following property for sale under public tender. It was located at 161 Lang Crescent, Lot 24, Block 8, Plan Number 75R37762. So on July 17th, 2025, the property tender under the Tax Enforcement Act was posted on SAS Tenders, in the Weyburn Review, and on the city's website. Tenders were received by the City of Weyburn no later than August 11th, 2025 at 2 p.m. A total of one tender was received. As detailed below, it was received from Peter and Carolyn Erasmus for $5,000. The outstanding taxes on this property and enforcement costs were at $7,371.14, and the refund to the previous owner would be $0. So council has three options. One is to accept the offer as presented. Two is to counteroffer for the full outstanding property taxes of $7,371.14 or refuse the bid. Staff recommends that we choose option one, to accept the offer as presented based on receiving future revenue from property taxes.
Thank you very much, Director Massal. That was very clear. Can I get a motion to get this on the floor, please?
Your worship, I would move that council choose option one, to accept the offer as presented based on future revenue from property taxes.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, your worship.
Thank you. Okay, conversation or any input from folks on this one? Yeah, Councillor Higgs?
Is it normal to sort of like one tender? Is that sort of where the tax, I suppose it depends on the value of the properties? Is that how it goes, or?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the property and the condition of it, and I guess what people are really looking for.
Okay, no, fair.
Councillor Corrigan?
Thank you, your worship. So the probability here is that if we refused option one and their particular tender, they'd probably withdraw it, and that property would sit for who knows how long, and we would receive no revenue moving forward on that particular property.
With this property, we feel like we'd probably sit on it for a while, and it'd probably cost the city more.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? Nope. If that's it, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. So I believe back to the Director of Finance for 7C, and this is a consent for title.
Okay, as per Section 24 of the Tax Enforcement Act, a letter requesting consent of title from the Provincial Mediation Board will be sent on the following properties. The property owners have received their 6-month notice but have not paid any of the outstanding taxes. The next step is to send a letter to Provincial Mediation Board requesting consent of title for the properties. This process costs $20 per property. Once notified, the Provincial Mediation Board contacts the property owner to discuss payment arrangements. If the board is unable to make contact, or if the property owner fails to follow through with payments, the board will then grant permission for consent of title. So there's two properties that we are requesting, and it's recommended by staff to give authorization to start proceedings with the Provincial Mediation Board for title on the properties with tax liens as presented 6 months ago.
Thank you, Director Massal. Okay, motion.
Your worship, I make the motion that council give authorization to the city assessor to start proceedings with the Provincial Mediation Board for the title on the properties with tax liens as presented 6 months ago.
Thank you. And a seconder?
Your worship, will second that motion.
Thank you. Any questions on this one or any clarity? Councillor Bador?
Laura, what's the timeline from if we approve to it actually becoming city property?
I believe it'll take like 2 years.
Yeah. Any other questions? Very good. Call the question then. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. We do have accounts payable in 7D. I would look for a motion. Those are available, by the way, but I would, we're not going to go through them line by line, but I would look for a motion to approve as presented.
Your worship, I move that purchases from August 1st, 2025 to August 31st, 2025 in the amount of $1,513,071.92 be approved for payment. These purchases include quick pays of $39,273.14, accounts payable of $1,112,405.69, direct withdrawals of $358,867.78, and debit card transactions of $2,525.31.
Thank you. Can I get a seconder, please?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions for the Director of Finance on this specifically? No? Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will go on now to the bylaw, 2025-3501. This is the Code of Ethics bylaw. We did first reading on this one already. I will ask the city clerk to kind of get everybody up to speed on this one. Go ahead.
Okay, so in accordance with Section 66.1 of the Cities Act, all municipal councils in Saskatchewan are required to adopt a Code of Ethics bylaw that applies specifically to members of council. The City of Weyburn previously adopted a general Code of Ethics policy, which was Bylaw 2016-3343, which applied to both staff and elected officials. However, recent legal and procedural reviews have clarified that separate instruments are required: a Code of Ethics bylaw for council and a Code of Conduct policy for staff. The city is currently following the model Code of Ethics prescribed by the province. Bylaw 2025-3501 has been reviewed by MLT Aikens and aligns with the requirements of the Cities Act, including the prescribed model Code of Ethics and procedures for handling contraventions. On August 11th, 2025, Council gave first reading to bylaw number 2025-3501. The proposed bylaw clearly defines ethical standards and values for council members, including honesty, objectivity, respect, transparency, confidentiality, leadership, and responsibility. It establishes a formal complaint process, including a $100 filing fee and a structured investigation procedure. It outlines potential remedial actions for contraventions ranging from apologies and training to suspension or removal from committees. It includes appendices for formal complaint forms and affirmations of understanding for council and committee members. The bylaw also repeals bylaw number 2016-3343. I recommend that council give second and third readings to bylaw 2025-3501, a bylaw to adopt a Code of Ethics for members of council and members appointed to boards, committees, controlled corporations, and other bodies established by council.
Thank you. So we did our first reading. Tonight we will look to do second, third reading and pass this bylaw. Now, I note Mr. Schiller is standing at the microphone. There is not a public hearing on this tonight. So any delegations that want to present to council are required to notify the city clerk in advance of the desire to speak. And I don't know, so I'm going to look to the city clerk, but I don't think that request was made.
No.
Unfortunately, I just wanted to make sure if I attended tonight, if I could actually get on board for that was part of the
Yeah, no, that has to be done in advance. And we want to stick as close as we can to our council procedures bylaw.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's important to us. Okay.
If I did have a chance, I would address it, but I will address it before the next one, prior to the next meeting.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we thank you, by the way, City Clerk, for your description as we go through this. And we had a lot of conversation around this last time, and council's comfortable. So I would ask for a motion.
Your worship, I'll make the motion that council gives a second reading to bylaw 2025-3501, a bylaw to adopt a code of ethics for members of council and members appointed to boards, committees, controlled corporations, and other bodies established by council.
Thank you. And a seconder?
I'll second that motion, Your Worship.
So any further discussion on this before we call the question? This would be, yeah, Councillor Jenke.
I'm only asking because I was not in attendance last time. We are all comfortable that this is in alignment with the Cities Act and the requirements laid out by the province?
Yes. Good question. Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And another motion.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council gives third reading and pass bylaw 2025-3501 to adopt a code of ethics for members of council and members of appointed to boards, committees, controlled corporations, and other bodies established by council.
Thank you. And a seconder.
Second that motion, Your Worship.
Okay. Now, I'll just ask again if there's any more questions from council on this or commentary. Hearing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. The process, and I know our city clerk is very approachable. When someone wants to present to council, I would recommend call her in advance, or an email is fine too, and just make sure that we know that process, because we do want that to be a transparent process. So please reach out to the city clerk whenever you feel you want to address council formally like this. Okay. Last item on our agenda is new business. It's a rural water hookup, and we will look to the Director of Engineering for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Weyburn Utility Board has requested approval to hook up 2 new residential water services. The owners have confirmed satisfactory sewage disposal arrangements. Based on estimated residential demands, we can handle the additional requirements on our water system. The $10,000 connection fee for rural residential water connections will apply to each of these applications. It is recommended the following requests be approved for residential water service. Dwayne and Kathy McDonald at Northwest 2, 8 of 14 west of the 2nd Meridian, Lot 5, and Rick Strutt, Southeast 16, 8 of 14 west of the 2nd.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Your Worship, I'll make the motion. The following requests be approved as presented.
Thank you. A seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments on this one? Pretty simple. The only question I would have, these do not go to district planning for approval in advance either, do they? We are allowed, or we're not allowed. We do that independently, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, good. I don't know why I thought that for a second, that maybe it did, but it's fine. Okay, then I'll call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. All right, that is the bulk of the business. What about inquiries and announcements? Administration or council? Councillor Sadlowski.
Sure. I would just like to talk briefly about the community safety and well-being survey that is currently open on our website. I sit on this committee. It is made up of quite a few local organizations. It is identifying risks and places that we could improve upon within the committee or within the community. The survey is open until September 12th, and we are looking to get as many responses as possible so we can put together a solid plan and hopefully move forward in a positive direction.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's important. So that survey is on the city website. Folks got on there, they would find it.
Yep, and I believe it'll be shared again to the social media, I think. Yep, it has been.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councillor Baddour?
We got a few tonight. So the Weyburn Red Wings, they're ready to fire up again here right away. I believe they're having a block party for their kickoff, and I'm not actually sure when the date is, but make sure we pay attention and support those that hockey team. They brought us a lot of joy last year and a lot of fun, and we want to start off the season filling the rink for them again. A little bit passionate about the communathon as well. You're going to see people pounding the streets here right away. I'm actually selling 50/50s. I'm out of them, so I've already sold all mine, so please find another communathon member to buy those off, but that's a real important part of our community. And I'm going to bug Renee for maybe a little bit of an update of some construction stuff going on. And yeah.
Before that, the Red Wings home opener is next Friday, September 19th. Tailgate party, food trucks, the whole thing, just to tie that one up. Yeah, go ahead.
You asked the question already?
I did ask the question. Just want to give a little bit of an update of construction, and we're getting to the end of the season, and just want to see where we're at.
Okay. An update for the paving. I'm sure everyone's waiting to hear an update for the Highway 35 or King Street. The contractor did start paving on Highway 35 North, that portion from North Urban City Limits to 5th Avenue North. So that will continue, weather dependent obviously, into early next week. Then they'll be moving on to the north portion of King Street. So that'll be 5th Avenue North to Douglas Road. That's anticipated for about another week, weather dependent obviously. And then they'll do a second phase on the south portion of King Street. And then following that paving, they will be starting on the 5th Avenue North paving. And that's going to be from King Street to 5th Street. So expect some delays and and that. Also, the traffic signal lights on 5th Street and 1st Avenue have started today. So there will be the closure on 5th Street and 1st Avenue for the duration of this week so that those traffic signal lights, the new ones, can be installed and the old ones can be removed. And yeah, that's about it. You'll see just some odd road repairs throughout various locations around the city as we wrap up the construction season.
I just want to thank everybody. I know it's a lot of anxiety going through this this construction season. We're getting a lot done this year, but I live in an area where I have to make 15 left turns, and I'm part of it too. But I think the end goal is we're going to have something great. So just be patient.
I agree. Well said. Anybody else? Administration? Nope. That's it. Then no notice of motion, so I will call us adjourned. Thank you very much.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today